Thank you for joining us for this North Metro TV local decision program. I'm sitting down with Lexington Mayor Mark Kurth, who's running for re-election. Mark, thanks for being here today, first of all. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And we just wanted to, even though you're unopposed for re-election, we wanted to have a chance to sit down and chat about how the first few years as mayor went and kind of what the future holds for your city and what you still want to get done. But first, I want to give you an opportunity to just kind of reintroduce yourself to our viewers, people who in the city of Lexington and the surrounding cities. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and yeah, let's just start there with a reintroduction of yourself.
Okay, my name is Mark Kurth. I'm the current mayor of Lexington. I have been the mayor for 2 years. This is my third election. The first time I ran, I lost, but then ran again. This time I'm running unopposed. Married with 3 kids, with a dog. Been living in Lexington for 9 years, currently on the fire department for 8 years. Also the gambling manager for the fire department, the charitable organization section, and also have my full-time job, which I've been in the finance industry for 25 years, so I stay busy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. What made you decide to run initially and also run for re-election?
Initially, you know, when I ran initially, I didn't like the way the city was being run. And I thought, well, I could do one of two things. I can sit on the sidelines and not do anything, or I can try and get involved and hopefully make a difference. So I ran. So far, you know, for the first 2 years that I've been mayor, I think we've accomplished a lot. The biggest thing that I'm proud of is how we all work together with the council. We don't always agree, and that's okay. The biggest thing is how we treat each other with professionalism and courtesy while we discuss our opposition with each other. I don't always win. The other people that maybe disagree with me don't always win. But at the end of the day, it's how we all treat each other and we move forward. Some of the other things that we've been able to accomplish in 2 years, we've remodeled our fire department, we've insulated it, we've made it ADA compliant, had to put some money into it, but it should be good for another 15 to 20 years. We've also started to put money away for the future for the fire department and also other things, so we don't have to borrow when these things come due and pay interest on this. We'll have it available to us. We've put our Level building up for sale. That's currently on the market. We're expecting a couple bids. There's some interested parties. We've put that building up for redevelopment, which will increase our tax revenue. There's some other things that, some empty lots that are behind Festival and the daycare that we're working with to hopefully redevelop as well, which will again increase our tax revenue. So to make a long list short, those are just some of the main points that we've covered in 2 years.
Mm-hmm. About the fire department, some people look at Lexington from an outsider's view and see a city of 2,000 people with their own fire department, with several fire departments right around it. And we know the kind of the turmoil that happened with the Centennial Fire Department with Lino Lakes. Do you feel going forward that still having a fire department that's just for the city of Lexington is a sustainable model, and that you're will be able to move forward with that? Because I know that's important to you.
I would say 1,000% I'm positive that we can sustain this model. The number one thing is, I mean, I know what happened with the Lino Lakes breakup, and I understand why they did it. They paid a large majority of the overall budget and had only 1/3 of the say. I personally don't necessarily agree with how Lino Lakes did it, but I understand why they did it. Have we been approached by Circle Pines and Centerville and say, hey, let's sit down and talk? Yes, we have. Am I interested in sitting down and talking? No, I'm not. And the reason for that is multifold. One is it would increase the level, or it would decrease the level of service. It would decrease our response time. The other thing is we have charitable gambling. All of our trucks that have been paid for through charitable gambling. Not $1 has come from taxpayer dollars. The Centennial Fire District doesn't have that. When they turn around and they need a new truck, which they did and they purchased, that had to come through taxpayer dollars. our budget for the Lexington Fire Department has remained relatively the same for at least the last 6 years, with no increase, with very, I shouldn't say no increase, minimal increase. And thanks to the fire chief, I would say on average, how much he spends versus what he's budgeted for, he comes in about 13% below budget every year.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned a few redevelopment opportunities in the city. Do you have ideas for what you'd like to see there in those? Or is it, I know you can't always pick and choose what comes your way as a city as far as development, but do you have maybe some hopes of things that you'd like to bring into the city, other things you'd like to, amenities you'd like to provide for your residents?
Like you had said, we don't always get to, if the city owned the building, then yeah, we could pick. The city owns the Lovell building. Can we somewhat pick and choose what we want there? To a little bit. The people that have come to us with the interest in the Lovell building has been for assisted living, which to me, I'm all for. We're talking about the initial estimates is a $60 million project. That's not small, and that's going to greatly enhance our revenue for the city. As you know, we're small. We can't grow our way out of our issues, out of our budget issues. So therefore, something that's going to put a $60 million property on that piece of land, I'm all for. As far as the outlots go, I would say those, you're not going to put single-family residences in those. Those are zoned commercial. That's what's going to have to go there is commercial. So what type of business? I guess we'll have to wait and see what we're approached with.
Okay. Now, we know you're unopposed for your race as mayor, but you're also the only person on the ballot in all of Lexington, as you have this unique situation where no one filed for the 2 open council seats, and we know there's some potential write-in candidates and out there. But I just want to get your opinion on that and where you think, do you feel like the city of Lexington is going to find some people that want to serve in this way? It's not an easy thing to do to step up and be on city council, but I just want to get your opinion on what's going on there.
I know for sure one person is running as a write-in candidate. She approached me, her and I spoke for about 3 hours, and I was impressed to the point I appointed her to fill Jack Plash's position. So she's currently on the city council. I've heard from a few other interested parties that plan on running as a write-in candidate. So as far as, are we going to be able to fill those positions? Yeah, we're going to be able to fill those positions. My wish or hope would have been that more people would have become involved. What I've heard in talking to citizens in the city was a lot of them didn't know that it was time to sign up or when you could sign up. My takeaway from that is 2 years from now is maybe we need to advertise that a little bit better to let the citizens know that, hey, if you're interested, now's the time to sign up.
If we're sitting here a couple years from now and you're running for election again, what do you hope you can tell me that you were able to accomplish in these next 2 years?
They were able to keep taxes low. To me, that's the number one thing. That's one of the reasons that I ran. I think taxes in Lexington are high. Some things that I've learned in 2 years, which I think I've learned a lot. You originally run and you think you're gonna come in there and just rewrite everything, and you learn government doesn't always work that way. Government moves slow for a reason. There's a lot of checks and balances, so somebody can't come in and run rogue over the city. But we have plans. We hired a strategic planner to come in and help us put ideas down on paper as to what's important to us. We've discussed community gardens. We've discussed what we're going to do with our police department. You and I this is our 3rd time sitting down talking. I don't know if you remember, but one of the main reasons I ran the first time was to try and control police costs. I'm proud to say over 2 years, our police costs have risen only $22,000, approximately, in case there's fact checkers out there. But this year we only went up, I think it was like $2,200. Where the other two cities, Circle Pines and Centerville, had much greater increases than that. I've seen our call volume go down. I would love to sit here 2 years from now and tell you that it's continued to go down. We ran a kind of a campaign as far as when to call an ambulance and when to call a taxi. And I'm hoping that's successful. Like I said, I've seen our call volume go down. And that's one of the ways that we were able to internally control costs. The one thing that, I'm probably rambling, but one of the things that we did is we sent out a survey to all of our citizens. What's your thoughts on City Hall, Public Works, Fire, and Police Department? I also asked them, we also put on there as far as, are you happy with do you feel that you get fair value for the taxes that you pay? We put on there, are you interested, if possible, in 2022, are you interested in switching police departments, and if that saves money, but may come with a lower service, are you interested in that? I was surprised with the answer. We're not fully done calculating all the numbers, but overall, through the survey, citizens are pretty happy with the job that we're doing. There's some people that have this or that, or what have you. But overall, people are pretty happy with the city, and I hope to sit here in 2 years from now and tell you the same thing.
I want to finish up today with, to you, what makes Lexington a special place to live?
We're in the metro area, but we're still a small town. And that's one of the biggest things that even came on the survey, was we're still a small town. And people want to keep that small town feel. One of the things that we were able to bring back that we just had 2 weeks ago was the Lexington Fall Festival. It was the first time that we've done that. Proud to say we were able to do it with no taxpayer dollars. The charitable gambling organization of the fire department wrote a majority of the check for it. But again, to me, that's the small town feel. We were able to hold it basically right down South Highway Drive, which is on the fire department. And we closed down, a small town, we were able to close down that street, and we had a pretty good turnout. We put it together in about a month and a half, not a whole lot of advertising. But for the short amount of time, I think we had a pretty good turnout. So that makes Lexington kind of special.
Well, thanks for coming in today, chatting with me a little bit and telling us a little bit about you and about Lexington and about what you kind of are looking forward to in the next few years as you continue as mayor in Lexington. So thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
All right. I want to remind you that you can always head to northmetrotv.com for any of our local decision coverage. It's all there under the local decision tab. You can find that right on the homepage. I've been your host, Ben Hale. Thank you for watching.